Hello everyone, I am Dr. Rebra Foston, the CEO of the Foston Foundation, a recently formed nonprofit in Nashville, Tennessee. Have you ever wondered what it is like in a 24-hour period in the life of an at-risk youth in your community? Over 15,000 will try drugs for the first time. Most will be able to find them very easily. 3,500 teens will run away, but they will always be running away from something or someone. Almost 2,800 girls will become pregnant. Over 1,400 teens will attempt suicide, mostly young girls. 2 young people will be murdered. It usually involves a handgun, and more than likely not, it will be at their school. At-risk young people usually do not have an intact family or the support from their family or their community. According to Mentor, the National Mentoring Partnership, we have made tremendous positive impact in the lives of the young people who have been lucky enough to be mentored. They are more likely to hold leadership positions. They've expressed a desire to be mentors themselves. They're more likely to participate in organized sports. They volunteer regularly, and many of them are enrolled in college or post-secondary education, and they are less likely to use drugs. So you see, mentoring works. There's no debate about that at all. But we still feel that there are 2 very important problems that we need to warn the community about. Warning number 1. Even before COVID, we were experiencing a shortage of adults who were willing to mentor youth. COVID has made this situation much worse, and it has exposed the weakness in our mentoring system. Some of the pain points that adults have mentioned about mentoring, the fact that it is too time-consuming, they were never really quite sure what they were doing, and didn't know if they were having any effect at all. Currently, only 1 out of 3 youth is being mentored, and for every young girl waiting to be mentored, there are 3 boys waiting to be assigned a mentor as well. That means that 16 million young people will never have a mentor in their lifetime. And of these 16 million, 9 million will be classified as being at risk. Most of these at-risk youth will be either Black or Hispanic males without a father figure living in the home. Without a mentor, these at-risk youth are left to their own limited and unlikely aspirations of one day playing in the NBA. Unfortunately, without a mentor, the only NBA that they will see will be the one that means will never be anything. Perhaps you know one of these young men, a cousin, a nephew, maybe another family member. Warning number 2. When the 9 million youth who are most in need of mentoring are left out of the mentoring equation, they are so far behind their own peers that without some deliberate intervention, they may never catch up. So many of our at-risk youth are emotionally overdrawn in their coping mechanism account. So even if we were suddenly able to find enough adults willing to mentor youth, if they use the traditional mentoring methods, that would still not be enough to erase this developmental deficit that our at-risk youth have with their peers. Our at-risk youth need what we call an enhanced mentoring method to catch up. By now, we hope you're asking yourself the question, what can my organization do? What can my church or social group do? What can my family do? What can I do to correct this problem? On January 1st, 2021, 7 individuals formed the Foston Foundation to work on this very problem. Pooling over 130 years of experience at working successfully with at-risk youth, we formed this nonprofit headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee. The philosophy of the Foston Foundation is very simple. We believe that there is a gift in every child. Our mission is to train caring adults with our enhanced mentoring techniques so that they will then be able to guide at-risk youth to adulthood safely by helping them complete their developmental tasks and find their own gifts. Our four-step strategy consists of basic training module, Holistic Mentoring 1, Holistic Mentoring 2, and finally a guide training. Each level of this process will be taken in sequence and adds a different skill set. These are the types of certificates that will be awarded at the successful completion of each portion of the training. The Poston Foundation will be introducing ourselves to the community by offering a free 1-hour virtual webinar on enhanced mentor training for working with at-risk youth. This webinar will be on Wednesday, December 1st, 2021 at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We are inviting the entire village to see what this enhanced mentoring technique is all about, because we will need the entire village to accomplish our goals. The webinar will be hosted by me, Dr. Reba Poston, a specialist in adolescent health, also known as an pediatrician, Dr. Rosalind Aker Black, a professor and clinical psychologist from the DC area and a COO of a STEM-based mentoring program for girls. Mr. Brian Poston from Charlotte, North Carolina, has been invited in his capacity as having been a founder of the Diamond Foundation, which has successfully mentored over 1,000 Black men, and having been the recipient of this enhanced mentoring technique himself. He was a teenager. In the webinar, you will learn what is involved in this enhanced mentoring technique, how it differs from the traditional mentoring, and a little bit about the skills gained at each one of these sequential steps: basic training, Holistic Mentor 1, Holistic Mentor 2, and the guide training. For showing some interest in our work, we have prepared a free gift for you. It is an ebook that contains 10 of our best tips for how to work with at-risk youth, and we wanted you to have them at your fingertips. We are confident that if we can hurry and train some adults in this enhanced mentoring technique, we still have time to level the playing field and help our at-risk youth catch up. The success of these at-risk youth really does depend on what we do now and on what we plan to do next. So please register now for your space in our free webinar on December the 1st, 2021, and make sure to mark it on your calendar. The Poston Foundation sincerely thanks you for your time.